Imagine you're living your best life, successful career, beautiful family, and everything you've worked for coming together perfectly. But what if someone, lurking in the shadows, was watching your every move, waiting for the moment to tear it all apart? This is exactly what happened to Monique Baugh, a thriving real estate agent who, in the blink of an eye, went from living her dream to being lured into a deadly trap. One phone call changed everything, and in an instant, her world was shattered forever. Minneapolis, Minnesota, a city known for its vibrant culture and stunning natural beauty. But beneath its picturesque facade lies a dark underbelly of crime and violence. In this city, Monique Baugh lived her life, balancing her career and family while nurturing her dreams. Tragically, her dreams were cut short when she fell victim to a shocking act of violence that would change everything. On December 29th, Monique, a successful real estate agent, received an unexpected call from a woman asking to see a house she was selling. Little did she know, this one decision would lead her into danger, putting her life at risk and leaving her loved ones in grief. The phone call seemed innocent, but it would soon become clear that Monique had unwittingly walked into the last hours of her life. Today we head to Minneapolis, Minnesota to discuss the heartbreaking case of Monique Baugh, a real estate agent and mother of 2 young children. Monique was lured to a fake house, showing, kidnapped, and sadly, murdered. Before we dive into the details, we want to share our deepest condolences to Monique's family, friends, and everyone impacted by this heartbreaking event. Minneapolis is a lively city known for its art, beautiful parks, and its closeness to nature. The Mississippi River flows through the city, which is home to famous spots like the Walker Art Center and the Guthrie Theater. The city also has many lakes and trails, making it perfect for outdoor activities. Minneapolis is also home to the Mall of America, one of the biggest malls in the world, and its downtown area is full of great restaurants and music venues. However, in recent years, Minneapolis has seen an increase in crime, particularly violent crimes like assaults and shootings. While efforts are being made to address these issues, the crime rate remains a concern for both residents and visitors. It is within this vibrant city that we find Monique Baugh and her family. Monique Baugh was born and raised in Minneapolis, surrounded by a loving family. Known for her infectious smile and bubbly personality, she had the ability to light up a room. Growing up, Monique developed a strong bond with her cousin, Sherelle Sinkfield, and they were often referred to as Thelma and Louise by their family. Sherelle described Monique as a confident and glowing individual whose positive energy was contagious. Excelling academically, Monique pursued her passion for real estate and became a successful realtor in the Twin Cities area, recognized for her dedication and professionalism. Colleagues praised her drive and ability to succeed in her field. Monique met John Mitchell, known as Momo, a rising rapper, through mutual friends in the Minneapolis music scene. The two quickly formed a strong connection and began dating. Despite their different career paths, Monique as a real estate agent and John in music, they shared a deep love and commitment to each other. Their relationship blossomed, and they welcomed 2 beautiful daughters into the world, creating a devoted family unit. Monique often shared her love for her family, expressing how blessed she felt in her career and personal life. John Momo, the father of Monique's 2 children, had collaborated with major artists, and Sherelle admired their special bond. She often described how they supported each other's dreams, always striving to lift each other up. Although their lives seemed perfect, they faced hurdles that would eventually lead to a tragic event. On December 29, 2019, Monique's phone rang. The voicemail was from a woman who introduced herself as Lisa Pulowski. Lisa's voice was calm and professional as she asked Monique about setting up a house viewing in Maple Grove, Minnesota. Initially, Monique found this a bit odd, as most of her clients contacted her through her real estate company. However, she didn't hesitate to return the call, eager to assist. Lisa explained that she was looking to buy a property and needed to schedule a showing soon. Monique suggested a few available times, and they settled on December 30th at 11 a.m. Unbeknownst to Monique, this simple phone call would trigger a nightmare, igniting a chain of events that would turn her life and the lives of her loved ones upside down. The woman on the other end of the line wasn't truly looking to buy a home. She was part of a sinister plot. Lisa, whose real name was Elsa Shura, was not acting alone. She was working with others: Lyndon Wiggins, Cedric Barry, and Barry Davis, all tangled in a complex plot rooted in a feud involving Monique's boyfriend, John Mitchell, and disputes over a music label. As Monique prepared for the showing, unaware of the impending danger, the conspirators set their dark plan into motion, carefully preparing the location for her arrival. On December 31st, 2019, Monique left home for the Maple Grove house, expecting to meet a potential buyer. What she didn't know was that 2 men were lying in wait. They ambushed her, overpowering her and binding her hands and mouth with tape. Security cameras caught the moment they forced her into the back of a U-Haul truck. What was supposed to be a regular workday for Monique had turned into a nightmare as no potential homebuyer arrived. Instead, she found herself kidnapped. For 2 agonizing hours, Monique sat terrified in the back of that truck as it drove around Minneapolis, filled with fear and confusion, trying to comprehend her dire situation. The men who took her showed no mercy. Their plan was linked to John and his music disputes. At one point, Monique feared they would end her life, but the gunmen had other plans. They drove for about 6 hours to Monique's family home, with her still in the back of the truck. At around 5:30 p.m., police responded to a shooting at John Mitchell's home, where he and his 2 young daughters were inside. John had been shot multiple times by a masked gunman who had entered with a key he obtained from Monique. Despite his injuries, John called out to the shooter and provided crucial information to the officers, expressing fear for his children's safety. Monique's mother, Monique Baugh, was at work when she received alarming texts from neighbors about the shooting. When she finally checked her phone, she was horrified and rushed home to find the police already there. Wanda found her grandchildren unharmed but was terrified for her daughter. She rushed to John's apartment, where police had arrived, but Monique and John were not in the house. The police could not piece together the incidents until one discovery provided clarity. An officer found a single door key on the floor. It belonged to Monique. It quickly became apparent that the gunman knew Monique's whereabouts. Wanda felt overwhelming fear and urgency, aware of the escalating tensions in John's music career. The stakes were high, especially with 2 young daughters involved. In the wake of the attack, Wanda contacted law enforcement to understand the situation better and seek guidance on how to find her daughter and protect her grandchildren. Following the failed attack on John, the police began tracing the attackers since Monique was still missing. About an hour later, gunshot detection alerts led authorities to an alley on Russell Avenue North, where they found Monique's body. Her hands were bound with tape, and she had been shot multiple times, including a point-blank shot to the face. She was taken to North Memorial Medical Center, but was pronounced dead shortly after. During this time, John was incapacitated in the hospital. Once he regained the ability to speak, officers broke the devastating news to him about Monique's death. His reaction was unimaginable. He expressed his deep sorrow, stating, "I have so many tears, I don't even have any more to give." The discovery of Monique's body shocked the community. People were horrified that a vibrant, hard-working real estate agent and mother had been brutally murdered. Law enforcement sealed off the area, gathering evidence and launching a full-scale investigation. Detectives delved deeper, analyzing surveillance footage that showed Monique being forced into the U-Haul, which helped them build a timeline of events, slowly unraveling the dark conspiracy linked to John and his music label dispute. This was a revenge scheme that had spiraled out of control. As the investigation unfolded, John became the target of accusations on social media, with some blaming him for Monique's death due to his lifestyle and associations. Despite the backlash, he vehemently denied knowing any of the individuals involved, including Cedric Berry, insisting, "I've never seen that Cedric dude in my life." As John mourned Monique, he expressed a desire to clear his name, grappling with the emotional toll the situation had taken on him. "I just want people to know that I loved her and would never have put her in harm's way," he said, his voice breaking with emotion. As the investigation progressed, detectives were able to connect the dots between the key players in this tragic event. They quickly honed in on Lisa Pulowski, who had lured Monique under false pretenses. With the help of surveillance footage and eyewitness accounts, they pieced together the sequence of events that led to Monique's abduction. Pulowski, alongside Wiggins, Cedric Berry, and Barry Davis, formed a group that had been scheming for months. They plotted to intimidate and silence John Mitchell due to his ties to a music label that had been a source of conflict in their lives. The investigation revealed that Pulowski was an acquaintance of Wiggins and Berry and had agreed to play a role in the scheme, albeit with a dangerous outcome. The police worked quickly to apprehend the suspects. They managed to track down the U-Haul used in the kidnapping and soon connected it to the 4 individuals. Surveillance footage combined with eyewitness accounts from nearby residents helped create a detailed picture of the moments leading up to Monique's abduction. With the case escalating, the police arrested Elsa Shura, Lisa Pulowski, on charges of first-degree murder, kidnapping, and conspiracy. In the days that followed, they apprehended Wiggins, Berry, and Davis, charging them with their roles in Monique's abduction and murder. The shocking nature of this crime sent ripples through the community, stirring anger and outrage. In early January, the arrest made headlines and public sentiment shifted as more details emerged. Many questioned how someone could be so cruel, leading to heightened fear in the community about the dangers lurking beneath the surface. Local activists began to advocate for better protection and support for those at risk of violence, especially in the realm of domestic disputes. The emotional fallout from Monique's death weighed heavily on her family and friends. Her cousin, Sherelle, expressed profound grief, stating, "She was a loving mother sister, and daughter. Her loss is unimaginable, and the pain will never fully go away. Monique's family and friends organized candlelight vigils, honoring her memory and supporting one another during this painful time. Monique's daughters, aged just 5 and 3 at the time, became the focus of an outpouring of community support. Many reached out to help provide for their future, offering donations and setting up a fund to support the children in the years to come. The community rallied, demonstrating the power of compassion and unity in times of tragedy. As the trial approached, the media spotlight intensified. The public clamored for justice, eager to see the perpetrators held accountable for their actions. The courtroom became a battleground, with the defense attempting to paint a narrative that shifted blame away from the accused, but the evidence against them was overwhelming. The trial began in early 2021, and emotional testimonies were presented, painting a vivid picture of Monique's life, her dreams, and the devastating impact of her murder. Witnesses, including family members and friends, described Monique as a passionate, loving mother who dedicated herself to her family and career. Detective Adam Smith, one of the lead investigators on the case, took the stand, detailing the timeline of events that led to Monique's death. He explained the evidence collected, including DNA samples, phone records, and surveillance footage that captured the moments of her abduction. The jury listened intently as the prosecutor laid out the motive behind the crime. They painted a picture of how jealousy and rivalry in the music industry led to the brutal murder of an innocent woman whose only crime was being associated with John Mitchell. The emotional weight of the case left many in the courtroom in tears. On March 15, 2021, after weeks of emotional testimony and evidence, the jury returned with a verdict. All 4 defendants were found guilty of first-degree murder and kidnapping, receiving significant sentences ranging from 30 years to life in prison. The verdict brought a mix of relief and sorrow to Monique's family, knowing that justice had been served but that their loved one would never return. In the aftermath of the trial, Monique's family focused on healing. They established a foundation in her name, dedicated to helping young mothers and children affected by violence. The foundation aimed to provide resources, support, and scholarships to empower women and ensure that children like Monique's could grow up in a safe environment. Sherelle Singfield, Monique's cousin, became an advocate for change, speaking out against domestic violence and urging others to be aware of their surroundings. She emphasized the importance of community and communication in preventing such tragedies, believing that awareness can save lives. The impact of Monique's death extended beyond her family. The case sparked conversations about safety for real estate agents, highlighting the risks they face when meeting clients alone. Many organizations began advocating for better safety protocols and training to protect real estate professionals in the field. Real estate firms nationwide started implementing mandatory safety measures, such as requiring agents to carry personal alarms, buddy systems, and safety training sessions. The industry recognized the need to prioritize safety in an often unpredictable profession. Monique's legacy also inspired the establishment of support networks for victims of domestic violence, emphasizing that no one should suffer in silence. Community organizations came together to raise awareness and provide resources to those in need, ensuring that victims knew they were not alone. As the years passed, Monique's family and friends continued to honor her memory. They shared stories of her kindness and generosity, ensuring that her spirit lived on in the hearts of those who knew and loved her. Monique's daughters grew up surrounded by love and support from their community, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit in the face of tragedy. The story of Monique Baugh serves as a reminder of the fragility of life and the importance of cherishing every moment. While her life was cut short in an act of unimaginable violence, her memory lives on in the hearts of those who knew her and in the ongoing efforts to create a safer world for everyone. The senseless murder of Monique Baugh is a chilling example of how violence can erupt from the most unexpected places, tearing apart lives and leaving lasting scars on all involved. Her death was not just a loss for her family, but for the entire Minneapolis community, which mourned the tragic end of a woman who had so much to give. As her story continues to resonate, we are reminded to always cherish those we love and to never take a single day for granted. If you found this video insightful, please consider subscribing for more content that addresses real-life events and their impacts. Stay vigilant, stay safe, and take care of one another.